there's still discussions. There's a lot of
Mhm.
arguments to move to Business Central. But for you, were there any reasons to stay on Nav?
I think probably the biggest argument I got from my management team at the time was that it was just easier to stay on Nav.
Mhm.
We didn't really have a whole lot of expertise in the system at the time. There were a lot of unknowns. It really wasn't configured properly. So jumping from one software version, all the way up to the next was a huge leap for us because going from Nav's, 2017, we were at that point, you're way behind because it went NAV 2017, NAV 2018 to BC 14, all the way up, and we were jumping to BC 20 at the time.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that conversation with our CFO at the time. And she just said, no, she said, let's just stay on NAV. We'll figure it out. We'll make NAV perfect before we can upgrade. And as anyone who manages business software systems knows, you're never going to make the system be, foolproof and perfect. So
Mhm.
you really just kind of have to understand what your system is doing. And, just because it's easier to stay, on your current software version
Yeah.
doesn't really mean that's the best thing to do for the business. Now that we've done the NAV 2017 to BC 20, 21, 22, 23, and now working on the SaaS transitions, as we've done this, because we have stayed current, our upgrades are just so much easier. When you're jumping, 20 software versions, it makes things a lot more difficult. There's a lot more testing. So,
Yeah.
just like I said before, just because it's easy to stay on your current system, your legacy system, doesn't really mean that's the best thing to do.